guitar players of YouTube, it's Nate Savage here from GuitarLessons.com, and I have something special for those of you today who are taking your guitar progress seriously, particularly on the acoustic guitar, those of you who are just wanting to get into acoustic guitar, or those of you who've been playing electric for a while and want to kind of cross over and start to play acoustic guitar as well. There are some things that I've discovered over the years that will make your life a lot easier if you're playing acoustic, and I wanted to kind of put those together into kind of a survival pack, and it's kind of segregated into two areas. The first area is just like actual physical things that you could put in a box that you need if you're playing acoustic guitar, and the second part of this, or the second half, are actual survival like tactics and skills that you need to develop if you're going to play on the acoustic guitar. Now, this is going to be a great resource for people who are just getting started or just getting into acoustic, but what will make this even better is if you leave your comments for what things have helped you out as you played the acoustic guitar and learned things over the years too in the comments below. Okay, the main overarching tip I have for you to survive the acoustic guitar is to get one of these, and just don't worry about anything else. That's a joke. Don't do that. Seriously, go out and buy yourself a nice acoustic guitar. Even if it's used, only 100 bucks, anything will work as long as you follow some of the things that we're gonna lay out here. Okay, but seriously, number one is get your guitar set up, because the acoustic guitar has thicker strings on it. It might be a little bit tougher on your hands, so it's super important. Number two, don't be afraid to go down a string gauge if you're just starting to get into acoustic guitar. Number three, always have an extra set of strings available to you so you're not up a creek if you break a string. Number four, always have a tuner handy, and it can be a clip-on tuner, it can be a pedal tuner, or it can be, your onboard tuner that you have on your guitar. It can even be an app on your phone. Number five, always have extra batteries on hand, either for your acoustic pickup or the tuner that you're using. Number six, use a variety of pick thicknesses. One of the quickest and easiest ways to change your tone on the acoustic guitar is to just use thinner or thicker picks. Number seven, get a capo and learn how to use it. That's super important, and it can make you really versatile. So now we're going to cross over into like the survival skills that you need to start to develop as a guitarist that will help you out a lot. The first one is, and this flows right from learning how to use a capo, is learn at least two keys really well to start out with. So I would really recommend maybe the key of G major and the key of A major. Just learn all the chords in those keys so we can go through them all. So if you play like a G, C, D, A minor, in the key of G, that would be a 1, 4, 5, 6 progression. And it's really handy to know that and have it down cold, but I'll also be able to do that maybe in the key of A. So A, D, E, F sharp minor is a 1, 4, 5, 6 in the key of A. That way, when you learn how to use a capo, if you want to do that same thing, if you want to play in the key of, let's say, B flat, with the capo on 3, play the same chords. You're playing a 1, 4, 5, 6 in the key of B flat now. So it's super useful at first to just tackle a key or two and have them under your belt and really learn how to use a capo with them. Number 9, get your fundamental 8 chords, open chords down really well. And if you don't know what those are, they're just C, A, G, E, and D major, and then D minor, A minor, and E minor. That is like the number one place to start if you want to get into acoustic guitar. That'll help you out with your capo as well. Number 10, learn partial bar chords on the guitar. Like I said earlier, we have thicker strings on the acoustic, so it's a little bit tougher on our hands. So like if I'm playing Eye of the Tiger with all bar chords, a whole 3 or 4 minutes of that, my hand's gonna be pretty worn out, but something that's easier is instead to rely on little partial bar chords, especially if you're playing in a full band situation where you might not need that thick of a chord. So way easier on the hand and way more sustainable if you're playing through a long gig or something like that. Number 11, warm up at the beginning of each practice session, even if it's just putting on a G to a C to a D, just really lightly, casually. Warming up is really important, especially the older you get. I've heard horror stories about, especially one singer-songwriter who had an idea for a thought for a song one night, and he woke up, grabbed his guitar, started doing some more complex things, and just totally burst a tendon in his finger. That's just a nightmare. You don't want that to happen. So take some time, 2, 3, 5 minutes, beginning of each practice session to warm up. Next, we're getting into some strumming stuff. So number 12 is don't underestimate and learn just a regular all downstroke strumming pattern. sometimes that's the best sounding thing to keep things simple. And a really good example of this is the Tom Petty song, I Won't Back Down. No, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. And all I did there was just all downstrokes, 8 notes the whole time. It sounded awesome. Another Tom Petty tune, something like that, is Learning to Fly. I'm learning to fly, but ain't got wings. Exact same thing, just all downstrokes that will get you out of so many situations, or get you through so many situations you'll find yourself in. Next is a different strumming pattern that is probably considered the acoustic guitar strumming pattern. It's the down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And a really good example of this is Have You Ever Seen the Rain? So. And let me actually show you why this strumming pattern is so important. And it's not only so important in itself, but it's kind of the gateway to opening the door to a lot of different strumming patterns. Let's go. All right, I'm going to play something for you, and I want you to pay careful attention. Okay, if you were paying attention, you heard that down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. It's like the drum version of that strumming pattern. And when you're playing acoustic guitar, one of the main jobs you have is to harmonize what's going on with the rhythm section, particularly the drums. And this down, down, up, down, up is so common in so many songs because that beat that I played is so common in so many songs. So it's a great gateway to getting into matching what the drums are doing with your acoustic playing. Number 14, you have to learn at least this one finger picking pattern if you're into acoustic guitar. And you may think to yourself, well, Nate, I'm not a fingerstyle guitarist. This is great to have under your belt, and it's not too hard. Let me show it to you real quick. That's it. You may be thinking, well, that's way too simple. Nope, you can get through a lot of things just alternating thumb and finger. If you want to get fancy with it, you can throw in another note on top with your middle finger. When you do this, make sure to hit the root of the chord, the low root of the chord with your thumb. Then it doesn't really matter what note you hit on top as long as it sounds good. And a really good example of this is the song Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. You can get through that entire song with just that simple finger picking pattern. So if I lay here, if I just, and then go to the E, lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? So it's hard for me to sing and play that at the same time, but you get the idea. You can get through a lot of different songs with just that finger picking pattern if you put in a little time with it. All right, this next point is a little forward looking until after you have all the things we've talked about here down. And that's just getting to where you can start to put melodies on top of your basic chords. And I have two really good examples for you. The first one is the song What If God Was One of Us, or just One of Us by Joan Osborne. So it's just the keys or the chords are just, so it starts on a D, E minor, then a C and a G. And if you put the melody on top, you can notice my right hand really isn't doing much. But starting to do that, picking a song that you like and just getting to where you can kind of manipulate the notes around on top to put that melody on top is really good. Another really good example of this is What a Friend We Have in Jesus. So something like, so same basic chords that I would normally play through it for the rhythm part, just kind of manipulating the notes on top. And that can be a little bit challenging at first, but once you start getting into it, you'll get way faster at it. Finally, number 16, learn complete songs when you start playing acoustic guitar. There's nothing worse than working on a lot of little partial bits to songs and not being able to play through an entire song, especially when you're at a party or a gathering or something like that. So maybe take one of the simple songs that we went over in this lesson, like Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. It's a really easy one to play, or Learning to Fly by Tom Petty. That's another really easy one to play, and get to where you can play through the entire thing. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to leave your top tips for surviving the acoustic guitar and just getting better in general in the comments below. See you later. All right, bonus tip number 17 is don't be afraid to be vulnerable in front of people. And like me, I'm not a singer, but I sang in this video because I needed to get a point across to you guys. And so if singing is something you're afraid of or you feel really vulnerable, you know, just give it a shot and put yourself out there. Or if playing in front of people, if you've never done like an open mic or anything like that, is something that kind of freaks you out, that might be something that you need to really push yourself to do.